And you can, if you like.
Hello, once again, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome on another episode here at the Cusp of Freedom. You already know what we're talking about, and on this episode, I have a special guest, Andre, and today we'll be speaking on how Andre became who he is, and we'll have a little discussion on some of the problems of our world, and of course, what we can do in our daily lives to make this world a better place or experience for those coming after us. Without further ado, we'll jump straight into it. Welcome, Andre.
Thank you.
And it's a pleasure to have you on this podcast. And yeah, what do you do for a living?
That's interesting. That's an interesting question. I'm a writer. I write. I make content. I coach people. All about charisma, confidence, charisma, communication, and so forth.
Why did you decide to go into writing? I know writing can be scary for some people. I think it's something not many of us decide to go into from an early age. So what made you go into writing?
Well, I like to read. I like to read books, and sometime around college, actually in college, or maybe even a little bit before college, I started writing, journaling, just about. Well, at the time it was just about like friends and girls and my college experience, but like that's something that I've been doing since I was 18. So the physical act of writing isn't that difficult for me. It's just putting my ideas in order in a way that someone else would want to read them.
So would you say that writing almost developed as a passion for you in college?
Well, no, I didn't study writing in college. Writing was just a way to express myself, and basically a way to remember everything that was happening in my life, because I felt like at the time so much was happening, and I wanted to be able to look back on it.
Interesting.
And now it's just like an outlet for me. Like I write every day in the morning, and it doesn't have to be about like, oh, I'm writing a book or something prolific. It could just be about like, I met this guy, we did a podcast, I had this iced coffee, it wasn't that good. I had to go shopping for cheese. It's like it's just about writing, and it's a brain dump.
Interesting. That's very interesting. So you've been writing for about, how long have you been out of college for, I guess?
So I guess about 10 years now.
10 years?
Yeah.
Okay. And you've developed this ability to write, and it's helped you become a digital nomad.
Well, that's not the only thing I do. That's not the only thing. I also like create content. Because after I graduated college, I moved to Chicago, and I started doing comedy in Chicago, doing improv comedy.
Okay.
And I was a very shy person.
So did you do that as a way to alleviate that shyness, or?
It was in the beginning. It was a way to get out of the house. So not necessarily to be less shy, but because I remember I moved to Chicago, and then for like a month, I had my own apartment, and I had like a good job, and I was just like eating deep dish pizza and watching Netflix every day, and I was like, my life is perfect, like I've made it. I was 21, and then after like a month of that, of just pizza and Netflix and World of Warcraft and League of Legends, I was like, what am I doing with my life? Like, literally, it's like, let's just go to work. No, I wasn't even like going to work. I was working from home. So it's just like work and then play video games, eat pizza, and then just repeat. After 30 days, it's like, oh, I need to do something else. And so I started, just everything I ever wanted to try, I tried. So I like got a bass guitar because I really love funk music. Because I listened to my dad's old funk records, so I got a bass guitar and taught myself how to play bass. Well, I didn't teach myself. I got a teacher, and he taught me. We learned together. And took a dance class, started painting, and the last thing I did was improv. And like improv really changed my life.
How did it change your life? Did it change your perspective, or did it actually change your life?
No, it definitely changed my life, because I was very introverted. Like I could turn on when I needed to, but for the most part, I like to stay in my comfort zone by myself. Like a good Friday night would be just like chilling by myself for me, playing video games. Like that was like the perfect Friday night. But it changed myself just because with improv, like it gave me the ability to fail in a comfortable, safe environment multiple times, all the time. So I got really quickly. I got like a crash course in like, well, I mean, improv for people that don't know, improv is it's theater. It's a specific type of theater where you're. Have you seen improv before?
I've been to improv.
Oh, you've done it?
I've been there. I haven't.
You've seen it. I've seen it. Yeah. Well, for those that aren't aware, it's just like you're on stage performing, but you're making up the scene and the characters and everything as you go. And there's just certain rules to improv. The biggest one being yes and, which is like agreeing to what your partner says and adding on to it. And I moved to a new city, didn't know anyone, and then just being able to like every week go out and do this thing and like get really uncomfortable, but also it felt like exactly where I needed to be. Because at work I was with, professional people that were just much older than me. They were all talking about their mortgages and their kids. And, I was 21 right out of college, and I was just looking at them thinking like, oh, well, this is going to be my life, right? They've worked there for 20 years. They're making X amount of money. They care about their kids and their lawn and their house, which is like, it's fine. There's nothing wrong with that, but I just knew I needed to do something
Meaningful
at the time. Yeah. So, I started doing improv, and then I started doing stand-up comedy. I started doing acting, and like before COVID hit, like I was like on a path. Like I was about to move to LA. I have a lot of buddies like in LA. I had friends that were auditioning for SNL, and like that's all I wanted to do. And then COVID happened, and I saw all my friends just not working, not doing anything, and I went back to just working, doing my day job, and then I realized, I need a way to work on my craft without like
depending on there being a way for you.
Yeah, like gatekeepers, right? Because with improv and stand up, like you can go and do these things by yourself, but if you want to like ascend, you need someone that's like, I'll put you on my show. Or like with acting, like you needed an agent to. I had an agent, but you need to get booked, and there's just a lot of levels to it. But like with YouTube, you can just post on YouTube, post. People start watching as long as you're adding value, right?
Yeah.
And you'll gain a following. And so I started leaning more towards that route, and also I started realizing that for the longest time, like I was like, social media was dumb, Facebook's dumb, Instagram's dumb. YouTube. I mean, I always thought YouTube was cool, but I was just like, I tried and it never worked out. But I see, like even right now, like YouTube of 2022 is going to be much different than YouTube of 2030.
Yeah. It's
the same thing with like YouTube of 2015. It's different than YouTube of 2022.
Yeah.
So the trajectory that YouTube is on is different, and just social media in general. It's like digital currency. And so I was like, I need to get on this. And I knew TikTok was like the new bad boy in town, and so I started grinding hard on TikTok, and I found my little niche, and that's how I do it. That's what I write about and what I make content about. And
so since COVID, you decided to be more freelance, independent, and create your own sort of like content, create your own platform. And express or develop your skills for writing and creating value.
Well, COVID taught me that like you need to be in control, and even with YouTube, you're not really like you can be demonetized. They can take your account, at any time. But like having an audience and having attention is like the most important thing these days if you want to if you want to, I think honestly, like make it in this world. Like if you want to do your own thing, like you need people like paying attention to you, like have eyeballs, have awareness. Like if you just want to work a regular day job, which is fine, like you don't need that. But if you want to work for yourself or influence, not even necessarily influence, but I don't know the exact word. I just feel like it's mandatory in this day and age. Like you have to have, like, do you have, your name is Marvin, what's your last name?
TQ.
Do you have your domain name?
Yeah, I do. Like on my website?
.com, yeah, your Marvin.com?
No.
You need it.
Okay.
You need it.
I'll take that advice.
Like you need to go home, go on GoDaddy or whatever thing and go buy it.
You know it's crazy because like I used to have like a strong passion for developing like applications and websites and stuff like that. And I used to always buy like different domain names.
Me too.
I still have like a list of domains that I bought.
That's
but
funny.
I've never thought of buying my own name.
You need, of course.
Domain,
Yeah,
so-
yeah. I've got a bunch too that was like, oh, this is genius. And then there's a whole like side hustle of like domain. It's like domain squatting, but basically like buying like potentially in the future like brandable domains and then like selling them for more money. I never really tried to get into that, but like I bought a couple that I was just like, oh yeah, these are so dope. They're so short, it's so nice. But yeah, I have entrepreneurial.com, and like, if you're doing a podcast, if you're putting yourself out there, if you're creating shit, like there needs to be like one local repository for all your stuff. Like, it can't just be on YouTube. It can't just be your podcast on
It's
Spotify.
not gonna be blocked or demonetized.
Yeah. Well, it's that, but also two, you're like a cut above the rest, because it's like just like an extra layer of professionalism and like thought. Also with like emails, like my email is andre.andresamson.com, right? And so once you have your domain, you can connect your email account to your domain. So you can be Marvin at your full name.com, right?
Interesting,
And then when you're messaging people, reaching out to people, brands, like they've got your name, right? And it's with your email, you're in your signature, it's got your website, they click your website, it's got all your stuff. It's like, okay, this guy's legit, right?
Yeah.
And that's the future, man. I think that's what it all is. If you're like trying to brand yourself and like like create a path for yourself, right?
That's interesting.
In this digital world.
I've never actually thought of that, so thanks for bringing that to light.
I tell all my friends that are doing anything like creative or like anything that requires you to put yourself out there, like you need your domain. You need to own your own.com.
What do you think about like the world going more digital and people wanting to be more like digital nomads so that they have the time to do the things, so they have more time to do the things they love and less time to do the work that they don't really like. Like I know you said being a creator, like a digital creator, requires you to take advantage of all these platforms. But don't you think that there's also a way to be a digital nomad or have this time to do the things you love if you have like a professional career that allows you to be remote?
Yeah, of course.
Like, or if you develop the skills to attract clients, because I know a crypto tax lawyer that he just has like a bunch of super wealthy clients, like a handful of them, and he lives off of them. Like, just a few clients, he provides his value. He doesn't work for nobody, reply to nobody. So I don't know. What do you think about people that are looking for ways to be digital nomads? What do you think is like the best? What do you think is the hardest path forward to be that? Or what do you think is like the best path to becoming a digital nomad?
Okay, well, there's a lot to unpack with what you just said. But to start, it's never been more possible to work remote, right? Because COVID just kind of pushed everything 10, 20 years into the future. And, we were all working from home and we were all still getting paid and businesses weren't going under, and everyone collectively realized like, holy shit, like all this work that we've been doing in the offices and like commuting and dressing up, we could have been doing this in our PJs on our couch, in the comfort of our own home. So one, that's possible. COVID proved that. But two, like with the advent of social media and going back to providing value, if you can provide value, like, so, well, I don't want to get too deep right now, but like we're paid, what the paycheck that we receive is the value we agree that we provide, right? So if you get, let's just say you make $5,000 a month, let's just say that, right? $5,000 a month from your day job. You agree that your time, your energy, your knowledge, your skill set, everything that you're bringing to the table is worth that $5K to do whatever you're doing. And what has changed now is, what brings value, right? Do you have to sit at a computer and type on Excel spreadsheets to make that 5K, or could you bring the same amount of value or even larger? Like, what if you just really love cupcakes? What if you made videos on cupcakes for a year straight and just about cupcakes, and then all the cupcake lovers in the world liked your channel, right? And they would just watch your channel, and you can make money just like people watching your channel. And then you can sell cupcake recipes. You can sell cupcake T-shirts and things like that. Like so just because you really love cupcakes and you found a community or created a community of cupcake lovers, you get paid 10 times more than what you're being paid at your day job to type, just because you're providing a very specific niche value, right? So that's never been more possible than right now.
Wow. So do you think we're underpaid for our value or our potential value because most people don't realize that they can provide the value?
No, not at all. I mean, the value you have, and I'm still learning about this right now, is that is you determine that, right? When you accept a paycheck, you're accepting this is what I am. I agree that this is the amount of value that I'm bringing to the table. But if you say no, I'm not going to be paid by that. I'm going to make my own route. Yeah, it's a lot harder, it's a lot harder to make money, but it's an exponential growth curve if you know what you're doing and you stick with it and you're consistent, right? But yeah, you determine your own value, right? If you say, oh yeah, I just want to make $5,000 a month for the rest of my life, then that is what
you're contented with.
That's what you're saying, which is fine. A lot of people would kill for $5,000 a month, so I'm not pooing on that. But as content creators, as a creative that's putting their work out there into the world, your value, perceived value, can be much, much higher if you know a way to market yourself and advertise that.
Okay, but would you say that if you decide to go that route, most likely the route that you would choose would be a more passionate route where the work you do doesn't really feel like work? Do you think people can stay consistent working for themselves if they're not really passionate about it?
It depends. If it's a creative endeavor, you need passion. You need passion to be, happy, right? But if it's just like you found a really good way to make money, then you don't necessarily need passion. You need a passion for money in that instance. Yeah, it really depends.
So what are some challenges that you went through? I know you said you, at some point, I think you said you quit your job and then you went back.
No. I quit my job really recently, a couple months ago. And I've been traveling the world. I tell people I'm a writer traveling the world with my dog because it just sounds so awesome.
Wait, do you even have a dog?
Yeah.
You really travel with your dog?
Yeah, my dog's here.
That's sweet.
That's 5 minutes away.
That's so crazy.
Yeah. I smuggled him into Colombia, and he was in Mexico. And I'm starting to brag now, like my dog's been to more countries than you have. Yeah.
Hey, that's something, bro. So what are some challenges you went through when you quit your job? Or what clicked? Did you just recently start traveling, or did you travel before in the past? No,
I've traveled before in the past. I've been all through Europe, Australia, and I'm Dominican, so Dominican Republic. But this is my first solo travel.
Okay.
And not traveling for anything other than traveling's sake, and also learning Spanish. I couldn't speak any Spanish in June. I moved to Mexico City, and then ahora yo puedo hablar perfecto en español. No perfecto, pero yo entiendo todas las cosas.
Sí. So is it because you quit your job that you decided to solo travel?
No. I started solo traveling before I quit my job, and then I'd be out and about, just loving my life. And then my boss would be like, hey, we need you at the 7 p.m. meeting. We need you at the 7 a.m. meeting. You need to do all this shit. And I was just and I was literally, none of it matters. I worked for a huge global consulting firm. And the things that we solved, the value I provide was a very specific sort of value. And I solved the things in this bubble. But in the grand scheme of things, it was completely pointless. And the people that I was working with, it was just all consumed about the problems of this company, and I just realized I was in the wrong place because they were really passionate about what they were doing, and I was just I need to get out of here. But I worked there for 8 years, so that was for years I was thinking about this.
Wow.
And then it was the breaking point when I was finally here. I was in Mexico City, just loving my life, feeling free for the first time. Also post-COVID. was like learning Spanish, rollerblading, eating tacos.
Living your best life.
Yeah, I really was. I really was. And then it was just like, my boss was like, "Hey, we need you. Like, where are you?" And I was just like, this is so stupid. Like, this is so stupid. So I had savings. I had savings, and well, I don't really want to talk about it. Like, but I made so much in crypto. I don't even like talking about it. I made so much, and then I lost so much in crypto. So I don't even like talking about that story. But like at one point, like 6 months ago, I was like, "Oh, I'm set. I'm set for life." Literally, like a lot. But now. I'm like taking 6 months to get myself, my personal brand, and my business off the ground, and I really think you just need 6 months of anything and consistent work, and you can something is gonna
happen.
bear fruit, right?
Yeah,
Maybe
sure.
not exactly instantly, but like 6 months working on yourself, consistent working on yourself, your business, right? You are gonna see
Some kind of growth.
yeah. So that's what I did, or that's what I'm doing. And it's going so far. So.
Wow, so after 8 years of working at your company, and you decided to just take this solo trip, and they just couldn't stop calling you at 8 hours, messing up your best life, you decided to quit. But I think, so was your crypto journey or crypto endeavors kind of what gave you the cushion to say yes, I can quit my job comfortably, or was it more of like, I'm living my best life, I'm not passionate about this job, and I'm just gonna get out of here?
No, what crypto taught me is that my perception of money was completely stilted, and even now, like right now, I'm like practicing like abundance mentality and manifesting money, and I'm like reading money manifestation books. I'm meditating, journaling, and all that. But it showed me like money is so easy. It's so easy to make. And it can come so quickly. I just remember sitting on my couch, looking at my portfolio and seeing like what I made in a year, I'd make in a day, like right there. Like, so I was just like my concept of money is like it can come so easily. You can also lose it so easily, which is what I did. But what it taught me was just have you read Rich Dad Poor Dad?
I have.
So you know how poor people save their money?
Yeah.
Right? Rich people and spend their money to make more money, right?
Yeah,
like
buy assets.
Yeah. So like rich people aren't worried about money. Like rich people don't budget. Like they have money coming in.
You just make more than they
Yeah. And like even now, like my girlfriend, she's like, because I told her like I don't have a job, and she's like budget. It's like I don't want to budget. Like I want to live the life that I was living and accustomed to. Not like balling out and everything like that, but like I don't want to be uncomfortable with my life.
Yeah.
And so so I'm really working right now on changing my perception of money, and also that it comes with value.
Mm-hmm.
What is it like? Having a 9 to 5 teaches you your value is this X amount, this paycheck, right? For 40 hours, right? But value can be very, very different, right? So right now, what I'm working on, to be like full disclosure, is like working on like changing people's lives, transforming people's lives through charisma and confidence, communication, and like what is that worth to you?
To me, that's worth a bunch, because a lot of people lack it. A lot of people don't have that self-esteem, and bringing out that confidence and charisma in people would definitely, that's a lot of value. Yeah.
Right. But what is the monetary value of that?
I don't think there's any money you can put on it.
Right. So it's hard. It's like, so how can you quantify that amount of value? Right.
You can't.
Well, I'm trying to get paid off of that. So like, and there's like a dollar amount that I am saying I will work with you for that. But that is kind of what I'm thinking about, right? Like, if you can solve or provide a very specific, all businesses solving solutions or solving problems, like providing a solution, right?
Mostly product.
Well, even this, like even your podcast can solve someone's problem, right? I'm still trying to figure out the niche of it. It's like being a digital nomad, or like
it's more about like so people can see the different career paths they can take to be successful, and not just have like a narrow viewpoint on what they have to do.
Exactly, right? So even taking that idea and like going, you just started this podcast, right? 6 months, 6 years from now, if you're still doing that, right? What this will have evolved, and the amount of value you provide will be exponential growth. That, people keep on listening, things like that. And with that comes sponsorships, and with that comes changing people's lives and their perceptions of, oh yeah, wait, I am stuck at a dead end job. There's so much more that I could be doing, right? Yeah. And so, when you're providing that value, it's hard to put it's worth X amount of dollars, but you're not constrained with just the paycheck that you're receiving every other week.
Yeah, I think it's important to note that when you do provide value, you shouldn't provide it for monetary value per se, but you should provide it to change people's lives for the better. And I think money will just follow with that.
Yeah, well, that's the whole new I don't know the exact word for it, but that is like a very current methodology right now in content creation. Like, provide tremendous amount of free value, so much free value, to the point that, like, when you say, like, hey, I've given you all this free value, I know you trust me, you've listened to me for literally hours, but if you want even more help, even more guidance, like, I'm working with a couple people to get them their dream job or whatever like this, like, and have a step-by-step process, like that. Yeah. Like, I have a network, right, that can connect you. Like, if you want to work with me, like, apply down below, right? And then from there, then that value can really be tremendous, right?
Yes.
And you just started with your podcast, but there's some podcasts that have just been like grinding for years, and hundreds of thousands of people are listening to them, and the sponsor, like, the thing is, like, money's so easy, like, it's so easy to come by, but when you're stuck in
limited belief,
a limited mindset, which is what we're trained to believe from indoctrinated from childhood, just because our parents were as well, right? Because like, that's the whole, like, school doesn't teach you how to be an entrepreneur because they don't want you to be an entrepreneur.
They want you to be workers.
They want you to be an employee, right? So.
Yeah, that's tough. You spill a lot of tea today.
It's the same reason why they don't teach about financial literacy.
Which is very important too. Yeah. I think that's crazy.
It's the same reason why an 18-year-old can go into $100,000 in debt to earn a piece of paper.
You can't get $100,000 of loan to start a business.
Yeah, exactly. Also, I think, like, the whole traditional educational system, or like at least college system, is like starting to realize, like, we don't necessarily need it. You can literally learn anything you want in the world on YouTube for free. Literally anything. More current than what your professors are teaching in class. So, I mean, there's still arguments for college, right? Networking. That's one of the biggest ones now. But like, if I wouldn't go to college right now if I could find out a way to make money online. And the thing is, like, there's unlimited opportunities to make money every single day, to make $1 million. Like there is a way to make $1 million today, literally. I don't know it, but it's possible, right? Yeah. Someone just became a millionaire right now, right?
Yeah, probably.
No, not probably, definitely. Yeah. Like that is what's the world is so big, the possibilities are endless. Right?
It is endless, right? Wow. So do you think that? I mean, I feel like the reason why not enough people realize that they can create all this value, and the reason why I think that people don't have this limited belief, besides like indoctrination, I think it's also because it's a generational cycle, and it's not easy to take the time to do the work on yourself. And before you can get to a mindset where you have this like abundant mindset, I think you have to do work within yourself. Like, a lot of us have trauma, a lot of us have like financial debt, we're not financially literate. There's like a whole bunch of like baggages that's keeping people from sprouting or keeping people from being the best that they can possibly be. Mm-hmm. So I guess this kind of leads me to the next point of the conversation. Now that we've spoken on why and how you became a writer and a digital nomad, what do you think some of the problems of our world are, and what do you think people can do in their individual lives?
I mean, that's such a broad question. What are the problems of the world? You have to be a little bit more specific.
Okay. If you can narrow down the problems of our world to one specific problem that could set the example for like all the other problems to like disappear, what would you say the one main problem is?
I mean, again, that's like really big. Are we talking about digital nomads? Are we talking about like quitting your job? Or are we just talking about life in general? Like, I'm not God. I can't solve all the problems of the universe. Like, okay. I mean, obviously, like, compassion would be helpful and things like that. But like, that's such a loaded question. Like, I mean, if we're talking about like in the confines, like if we were just like staying within the niche of the podcast, right? Of like becoming your best self, or like becoming a digital nomad, or like working for yourself. Like that's like a more specific question that is more answerable. But it's just like, what are the problems of the world? I don't know. And like poverty, I don't know. Racism, like what do you want me to say?
I guess what I was trying to do that is like, what do you think people can do to have more time to do the things they love, and what do you think people need to work on personally to be better?
I mean, that's dependent on the person, on the individual. But like, to go back to kind of what we talked about earlier, is just how you, like, providing value, like your value, the value you bring to the table, is not as easily quantifiable as a paycheck. And literally 10 years ago, it would have been impossible to make videos and write articles about cupcakes and get paid. And now that is a very, very possible thing to do. So to get back to your question, like, you know, how can people do, or maybe this wasn't your question, but like how can people do what they love? It's like defining the value you bring to the table, and again, this is like, or like what you're passionate about and how you can add value to other people's lives, and building a community, or just providing value on that topic and within that niche. So,
I mean, don't you think people want? Do you think some people want to do better, but for some reason they feel like? I guess, how do you get out of that limited mindset?
So that's a different question, and that is comfort. I mean, that comes to comfort. Like people, like comfort is the best thing. That's fine. You can go. Like people get really comfortable, and the reason it took me 8 years to quit my job, even though I knew that I didn't like it in a month, is because I like a paycheck, right? Like money coming in is very comfortable. The reason why people stay in their home country and don't travel the world is because they're very comfortable. They're familiar with that environment, and they're unfamiliar with the outside environment. So
interesting. So you think we get too comfortable, and I mean, how do you even quantify the value that you bring for a company that you work for and feel comfortable for? Like, do you even,
I mean, it's your paycheck.
I mean, even if it's your paycheck, like, do you even like what are you comfortable with? Like the work that you're doing, or the paycheck that you're getting, or are you comfortable with like the value? Because like, for example, right, I'm a software engineer, and I know that the work I do is providing value, but I don't really feel like I'm providing any value.
Are you passionate about what you do?
I think it's easy.
Okay.
And I want to do something harder, but I'm not, like, I'm passionate about solving problems, which is why I got into the space of software engineering.
Okay.
And but I still feel like my job is easy. I know it provides value because it helps all these companies like interact with one another, and it helps provide value on a granular scale. But like on a macro scale, but I still don't feel like I'm providing value. If that makes sense. I don't feel this value that I'm providing. Like, for example, this podcast is, it's free, it's open source for everybody, and I find like I think I'm providing value in one way or another by like, expressing or having you on the podcast to show what you're doing, so that maybe somebody that wants to be a writer can see what you did and how you felt before you became a writer.
I mean, you are providing. I mean, you're providing value in both ways. Like the problems you're solving for your company and for other companies does provide value, and that's why you receive a paycheck. This, with the podcast that you're doing, does provide value. How much value it provides is yet to be determined. I mean, it's really determined by you, and how many eyeballs you get this in front of, and how much you market it, and how consistent you are with it.
Okay, so I guess should the value be determined by how much reaction you get from the audience, or should it be determined by what you feel?
No, I mean, I think I don't want to say you're confusing, but like I think like you're interchanging value and passion like interchangeably when they're two different things, right? Okay. Like you're providing value with this podcast. How much is hard to determine, right? Yeah. You're providing value at your job, and you have a very finite amount of value because they give you that every other week, right?
Yeah.
Now, which one are you more passionate about? And like, okay, there's a party coming out outside.
Man, what the hell?
They're dancing. Yeah, they're dancing. There's like a crew. They go around the city and they do like flips and shit.
Yeah, I see them often.
Yeah.
They love going where dreams are.
That's where the money is. And it's like the same crew. And that's all they do. The thing is here, like, I don't know, I have a lot of thoughts, like a lot. Do you like Medellin? Yeah?
Easy to save, easy to start a business.
How long you been here? How long are you gonna be here?
I'm planning on extending. I'm gonna go to Mexico City for a little bit and then I'll come back.
I was just in Mexico City, like, so I think, I mean, obviously, like, one thing here, like, that cannot be understated is the quality of the women here. Like, just like beautiful women everywhere. Like, so much so that you kind of get used to it. Whereas, like, like when you go to Mexico, the food is amazing. The food is like so much better than
The women are here.
Yeah, well, I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying like when you see like stunners here, like not even every day, but like every couple minutes, right?
Yeah.
Whereas like Mexico, like I see one a week, right? So like that's what I really love about here. But there's also just issues with class and poverty that are really like bother me. I don't know. And Mexico, like in Mexico, like they were much more like they're like hustlers, right? And so like here people will be like, hey, buy this piece of candy that I got for $5 and you pay me $1 for it, or pesos or whatever. Like in Mexico City, they'll be like, hey, I'll shine your shoes, like I'll wipe your car down. Like they're trying to like find all these different ways to make money, and like actually like have a transaction. Whereas people here are like just buy my candy or like digging through the trash. Like I saw like a kid digging through the trash, like broke my heart because like the kid was like 13, like that he's not going to receive education for the rest of his life. Yeah, he's stuck in that trap of just.
When I was saying like what are the problems of the world, I mean I feel like from my perspective, coming from Cameroon and seeing like how Medellin or Colombia can be quite similar as Africa, I feel like we're not as grateful for the opportunity that we have as Americans to do our best so that the ripple effect is felt all over the world so that they can have better opportunities as well. And I feel like I think compassion is one of the main things as well. We don't have enough compassion for one another or for ourselves even. I think yeah.
The thing is, the very first day I got here, I went to a pharmacy with a friend just to he wanted to get some medicine, and there was like a lady outside who's like, please, she had her baby. She's like, please, por favor, like I need leche por mi niño. I was like, oh yeah, sure. Like I was about to get it for her. Like my friend was like, no. I was like, why? And I was like, she needs it. I was like, no, just like don't do it. And then I was like, but why? And then like literally 2 minutes later, there was someone else. I was like, please, I need like, and they had another kid. It's like, please, I need like milk for my formula for my baby. And then there was like a third, and then a fourth person's like, oh, like that's why, because like you literally can't help everyone. Like then it's like it's not, it's like it's a systemic problem. Right?
It is.
And like if I gave money to every single person, which I would want to do, money to every single person that asks me for money here every single day, like I would literally go broke, right?
Yeah.
And so that's just kind of like the problem that I don't know how to fix it. I mean, it's systemic, so it's like it's a governmental educational thing, but like that's what really breaks my heart about this place. And I just see such stark classism here, where like everyone in here, and not even the employees, like all of the people that just have the ability and freedom to type away on their laptop and get paid money to do this.
Yeah.
Like versus like all these people that are like struggling just to get some food in their belly.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it's a global issue, honestly, but I think it's something that can be fixed with, awareness, education. Like I said, I think if people that have the opportunity to make the best out of their situation, because like I said, we're all born in we're all given different cards when we're born, like different starting decks. Some of us have more opportunity, some of us have more potential. But I think that those that are born with the opportunity to use their potential can actually do so to create value. Like I said, using social media, create value, educate others, because it's not like giving handout is the right thing to do, because I don't think it is. I think the right thing to do is educate people so that they don't feel limited. They don't have the limited beliefs that they have. They have an abundant mindset, and with that mindset comes you being able to figure out things on your own and doing whatever you need to do to provide.
yeah, but again, I mean that's a nice, pretty fairy tale story. But again, we talked about the government. Big Brother doesn't want you to be able to think on your own and start your own business, right? Because they need minimum wage employees that are gonna sweep the streets and do all that stuff, right? So it's like a game. It's like an evil game that's happening. Yeah, I don't know. And this is not my area of expertise, but just things that I think about. So I don't know. We can't solve the world's problems. You think we can? Do you think that's possible?
Yeah, I think it's possible.
So I think we're very too I'm a very.
I mean, I understand the way you think though,
Yep.
and you're very right. I do believe that it's a tug of war, and no matter how much you try to wake people up, there does need some people to sweep the street. There needs to be people that do the minimum wage work. But I feel like we have unlimited resources on there, and a lot of the sufferings are senseless. And I think that it's just a matter of people being able to dream their reality, believe in abundance, and being the best they possibly can. I think if you have that mindset, then you might not be able to come out of your situation, but you can definitely make your situation a lot better by feeling more. Because it's not all about money, bro. At the end of the day, it's what are you without money? You know what I mean? Who are you if you're broke? If you have zero in your bank account, who are you? What's your personality? You know what I mean? I think once people realize that there's a lot more to life than just
there is. I mean, there definitely is.
Just
to money for sure. Chasing money. Another crazy thing is money's made up.
Yeah, it is made up.
Money doesn't exist.
Exactly.
It's just a piece of paper. It's pixels on your computer screen.
Yeah.
It literally.
Yeah.
It's just something that we said $1 is worth $1. Well, how much is $1?
Yeah.
Well, it's 100 cents or whatever like that. It's what is that?
It's made up. Exactly.
So
that's what I mean. I don't think our lives. I don't think the value of our life is based off of what we make. I think it's based off of how much value you can bring to people. Whether it's having a cupcake recipe on YouTube that people can follow to make the best cupcakes, whether it's your own thing that you're very good at that you want to share with the world. I think that there's more value in, man, for example, if there's the story that you said about the lady asking for money to feed her child, right? For me, if I was in that situation, I would have given money to all of them, because that's an opportunity to make someone's day. You know what I mean? And I would not have missed that opportunity, because when I give and don't expect anything in return, I feel like a euphoric. How do you call it? Like a euphoric effect inside of me that makes me feel so good, right? Which is why I can never just miss that opportunity. I'm not saying that I'm gonna try to feed the whole world or all the homeless people, but if I get the opportunity to, if I have, then why not?
we can go find that opportunity right now. We can go walk outside.
I'm not saying I'm gonna go look for the opportunities to give. I'm saying that if it comes to me and I have the chance to, then then it is what it is. And I don't think I've missed many opportunities to give. When I could, I know that you can't. I used to have this mindset where man, I want to just. When I used to work at Boeing, for example, there's this thing where Boeing matches whatever you match to shelter the homeless, they'll match 50 or 100% of it.
Okay.
I used to want to do that, and then I realized no matter how much money I make, I'll never be able to solve this problem. But if I'm able to, I feel like it has to be a ripple effect, and it has to take a lot of time. You know what I mean? And I think that it starts with education, because you can't feed people. You have to teach people or
Feed themselves.
to feed themselves. Because everybody has, like, I'm not special. You're not that special. People out there.
Oh, hold up.
No, seriously.
I'm playing.
No, but seriously,
I'm
bro.
playing.
People out there on the street that are poor probably have the same potential as us, if not even more. But it's just like the mindset and the education we get. Like you said, they don't want us to be educated. They don't want us to be educated enough so that we can start our own. Because there won't be any government in that sense because everybody will be self-authoritative.
Yeah. I mean, it comes a lot down to opportunity, infrastructure, education. Yeah. I mean, that's across the world.
Yeah, but don't you think that the 1% is a lot less than like the 90%? The 1% is really just a group of people that determine what you earn, determine how you do things and stuff like that. But there's a lot more of us that are in the workers mindset than there are people that are like controlling shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think it just comes down to people waking up to their abilities and their potential, and people actually having the perspective that they can go out there, meet people, connect, and do whatever it is that they need to do to feel that euphoric effect or to pursue their passion.
But with respect, that's a privileged point of view that you can say, that we can say, because we have the freedom to travel the world and make money from our laptops and like have a comfortable place to sleep. And I don't know if you're in debt, but like not be worried about money or not be pressed about money. Like that's a very privileged perspective. Whereas someone, you can't tell a kid out there like, hey, you can go dream and do anything you want to do, when like this kid is literally, all he wants is food on the table for tonight. Like that's all, like, and he doesn't have the opportunities to travel or like click fingers on his laptop and make money because he never received that education, and he can't afford the clothes, he can't afford the computer, the microphone, like that's a very like.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. Okay, you're right in that sense. I guess I also have like this belief that we can dream our realities. I think that.
Well,
That's the privilege
Yeah.
mindset. You're right. But maybe like I don't know.
Like these kids, they can't dream their reality. Like, I mean, some of the really, really smart ones whose parents like pushed them and like protected them, made sure they didn't get in trouble, didn't get messed up with drugs, gangs, all that stuff. Like, maybe they have a little bit more of a chance. But even still here, like even like being a Colombian, right? It's gonna be harder to travel the world to make dollars, right? Yeah. So they could be working twice as hard, 3 times, 5 times harder than someone in the States doing the exact same job, and they get paid a fifth.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really work like that.
But what if, like, I don't know, what if the solution has to come from Americans? What if Americans who have the freedom of speech, the freedom to travel the world, what if the Americans who have the opportunity to make more dollars?
I think you really got to nail down what you want this podcast to be and like talk about, right? Like, is it like how can we brainstorm solving the problems of the world, or is it like, and now this is coming from like a content creator, like mindset talking to you, like, who's gonna watch your podcast? Who like, how is this gonna provide value to people? And why are people going to subscribe? Why are they going to tell their friends? Why are they going to watch every episode? Like, there has to be a constant recurring theme. Like, is it being a digital nomad, or like pursuing your dreams, or is it solving the world's problems? Because really all we're doing is just kind of like talking about like, yeah, it would be cool if poverty didn't exist and like everyone had equal opportunity, but that's not how the world works, right?
Yeah.
So. Yeah, but from like a content perspective, like this is just like me kind of like, you really got to nail down, like you should be able to describe your, and I kind of heard it in the beginning, but like be able to describe your podcast in a sentence, like what you do, who it's for, and how it provides value, and like, you can go talk about different stuff, but there has to be like a constant recurring theme, right? I've made 600 videos on TikTok about, and I'm trying to brag, but like strictly about communication. And so when we talk about like providing value, cupcakes, right? Cupcake person can't talk about
like cinnamon buns.
Well, I mean that's baking, so it's kind of close, but they can't talk about like
how to cook steak,
or like traveling. Like I'm traveling to Colombia, or like here's how we solve poverty, or like look at this new shirt I got, right? Like when you're providing value, like you're in a very specific lane, and that's why people will continue to follow, because they know, oh, if I follow this, I'm gonna get all this shit is gonna be about cupcakes, and I love cupcakes, and I love making cupcakes, and I want to hear about cupcakes, right? So when you go off on this and that, that's when you get people like, all right, why are you talking about burgers, or why are you talking about traveling, or why are you talking about like going to the gym or playing basketball? Like, that's unsubscribe.
I guess like my main objective for this podcast, like I said, is so people can see the different avenues they can take to earn the freedom to do the things they love, what they need to do to gain a perspective of abundance, or their perspective, because I think perspective is very important, right? It helps you make the right decisions, it helps you meet the right people, like what they can do to gain the perspective, and all that is so that we can help make the world a better place for those coming after us. So when I'm alluding to like the problems of the world, it's so as to remind people that we live in a world that's not ideal for the majority of us, and if we have the perspective to, for example, quit our job to do what we love or create our own value, if enough people have the courage to do that and be successful, there will be a ripple effect that will help make the world a better place.
Okay. Maybe.
That's kind of like what I was thinking. I don't know, because I've met so many different people, especially here in Medellin, that like I could have never imagined you could do this and be successful. And I just want to shine a light on like the different avenues. It's not just like to be a digital nomad, you don't have to just be a software engineer. You can be a lawyer. You can have your own tech company.
And like I guess what I'm trying to say is like niching and providing value is a lot about like niching down even further, right? So like it could be just a podcast about like the types of people that are working abroad, and like how are they able to work abroad, and like that's an idea, right?
Yeah.
And then the more that you do off of that, like we want to talk about so much other stuff, but like then it confuses your audience about why they're following you in the first place.
That's good advice.
Yeah.
All right, so I think from now on I'm just gonna niche it down to like, what do you do abroad?
No, not necessarily, but like just think about it.
Maybe at the end.
Yeah.
I understand what you mean. Well, it's been a pleasure having you on the podcast, Andre.
Thanks.
And I really. Do you have any last thing you want to give the audience as like a word of advice that they can take with them?
So one of my favorite quotes is rejection is better than regret. So I love to fail. I love to get rejected. And like sometimes I'm really afraid to do it. But like one thing I don't stand for anymore is just regretting what could have been. Like now I don't wonder what could I have done had I quit my job, right? Now I quit my job. I'm like figuring it out right now. Now I might regret it in 6 months when I run out of money. But like for like right now, like I have no regrets. So if it's like someone you want to talk to, or like a country you want to travel to, or just in general, like I would rather get rejected or fail. And I don't believe in failure, but that's a completely different topic. Than regret. So,
that's a very powerful advice. I feel that deep in my bones. But I really appreciate you being a guest on the podcast, and hopefully I'll get you on another episode in the future. But thank you so much. Thanks, man. It's been real. Bro, you grilled the shit out of me.
I wasn't trying to, man.
No, but it's good. It's good stuff. I'm not like. I'm posting everything, like even the grilling part.
Okay, well, like
I
was like, well, just because I wasn't trying to be a dick or anything. I was just like,
no,
man, like, because like